Unlocking Success 10 Game-Changing Lessons from the Lean Startup. John here, diving deep into the entrepreneur's Bible, The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Whether you're hustling on a side hustle or running a Fortune 500, this book is packed with golden nuggets. Let's go! Startups. Not just mini-me's of big businesses. A startup isn't just a smaller version of a big company. It's a whole different animal. It's a temporary organization with a mission. Find a business model that scales like crazy and then make it repeatable. That means treating your startup like a series of experiments. You gotta test your assumptions. You gotta be willing to iterate, to pivot, to learn on the fly. Forget the perfect plan. You're here to figure out what works and what doesn't, and the faster you do it, the better. Think of it like this. You're not baking a cake here, following a recipe step by step. You're more like a scientist in a lab, experimenting, testing, analyzing. You've got a hypothesis, your business idea, and now you need to run experiments to see if it holds water. And just like in science, sometimes your experiments will fail, but that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's one of the most valuable things you can do. Because each failure, each setback, is an opportunity to learn and improve. So embrace the uncertainty, embrace the experimentation, because that's how you find the gold. That's how you build something truly great. The Build, Measure, Learn, Loop your startup engine. Alright, let's talk about the engine that drives the Lean Startup methodology, the Build, Measure, Learn loop. This is your secret weapon, people. First, you build. You take that minimum viable product, that bare bones version of your idea, and you get it out there. Don't get caught up in perfectionism, just ship it. Next, you measure. You track the data, you analyze the feedback, you see how people are actually using your product. Are they clicking on that button? Are they understanding the value proposition? Data doesn't lie. Finally, you learn. You take those insights from the measurement phase, and you use them to iterate and improve your product. What worked, what didn't, what needs to change, and then guess what? You do it all over again. Build, measure, learn, build, measure, learn. It's a continuous cycle of improvement, and it's the key to finding product market fit. Now, here's the kicker. Speed is everything. The faster you can spin this loop, the faster you learn, the faster you adapt, and the greater your chances of success. Don't be afraid to put something out there that's not perfect. In fact, the earlier you get feedback, the better. So get comfortable with iteration. MVP, it's all about the minimum, baby. Let's talk MVP, people. Minimum viable product, not the most valuable player, although that's what you're aiming for eventually. The MVP is the simplest version of your product that lets you start learning. It's about validating your assumptions with the least amount of effort. Remember, we're all about speed and efficiency here. Don't waste your precious time, energy, and resources building something nobody wants. That's like throwing a lavish party and forgetting to invite guests. Awkward. Start small. Test your core assumptions. Get that MVP in front of real users and see what they think. Do they get it? Do they like it? Most importantly, are they willing to pay for it? The feedback you get from your MVP is pure gold. It's like having a direct line to your target audience, telling you exactly what they want and need. And here's the best part, you can iterate based on that feedback. Okay, let's talk about learning, because in the startup world, it's your most valuable currency. But not just any kind of learning. We're talking about validated learning. Look, opinions are like noses, everyone's got one. But when it comes to building a successful business, data trumps opinions every single time. Validated learning means basing your decisions on hard evidence, not gut feelings or assumptions. It's about getting out of the building, talking to your customers, and understanding their needs and pain points. And when you're measuring your progress, focus on actionable metrics. These are the numbers that tell you how your business is actually performing and give you insights into what you need to improve. Forget vanity metrics, those feel-good numbers that look impressive on paper but don't actually translate into real growth. We're talking about real, tangible results here. So, get obsessed with data, track everything that matters. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks and talk about everyone's favorite topic, accounting. But hold on, before you click away, this isn't your grandma's accounting class. We're talking about innovation accounting, the kind that actually matters for startups. See, traditional accounting methods just don't cut it in the fast-paced world of startups. You need a system that's designed to track progress, measure learning, and help you make smart decisions, fast. Innovation accounting is all about focusing on the metrics that matter most. It's about understanding how your key activities are driving your desired outcomes. It's about setting clear goals, tracking your progress relentlessly, and using data to guide your decision-making every step of the way. Think of it like this. You're on a road trip, and you need to know if you're heading in the right direction. Innovation accounting is your GPS. Alright, let's talk about one of the toughest decisions you'll face as an entrepreneur: when to pivot and when to persevere. You've built your MVP, you're gathering data, you're learning like crazy. But what happens when the data tells you it's time for a change? What happens when your initial assumptions were off? That's when you need to be prepared to pivot. And no, pivoting is not failing. It's not giving up. It's about being agile, adaptable, and responsive to the market. Pivoting means making a strategic shift in your business model based on the insights you've gathered. It might mean changing your target audience, tweaking your product, or even completely overhauling your business. But here's the thing. Pivoting isn't a decision to be taken lightly. You need to carefully weigh your options, consider the data, and trust your gut. If you're consistently seeing negative results despite your best efforts, it might be time to consider a pivot. Alright, let's talk about speed. In the startup world, speed is your competitive advantage. And one of the best ways to move fast is to embrace continuous deployment. Continuous deployment means releasing updates and improvements to your product as quickly and frequently as possible. Forget about those long, drawn-out development cycles. We're talking about getting new features and bug fixes into the hands of your users as soon as they're ready. Why is this so important? Because the faster you iterate, the faster you learn, and the faster you can adapt to the ever-changing needs of your customers. Think of it like this. You're in a race, and your competitors are stuck in the mud with their slow, cumbersome development processes. With continuous deployment, you're zooming past them, constantly improving your product and leaving them in the dust. Now I know what you're thinking, but what about quality? Won't releasing updates so quickly lead to bugs and errors? And the answer is, maybe. But here's the thing. With continuous deployment, you can fix those bugs and errors just as quickly. You're constantly getting feedback from your users, so you can identify and address issues in real time. Alright, let's talk about efficiency, because in the startup world, resources are precious, and you need to make every penny count. That's where lean thinking comes in. Lean thinking is all about eliminating waste, optimizing your processes, and focusing on delivering maximum value to your customers. It's about doing more with less, and it's a mindset that can make or break your startup. Think of it like this. You're building a car. With lean thinking, you're not going to add a bunch of unnecessary features and bells and whistles that don't add any real value. You're going to focus on building a car that's fuel efficient, reliable, and gets the job done. The same principle applies to your startup. Identify the activities that are essential to your success, and eliminate everything else. Let's talk about something really important. You don't need to be a tech genius or have millions of dollars in funding to be an entrepreneur. The lean startup principles apply to anyone, anywhere, who's trying to create something new. Whether you're starting a side hustle, launching a new product line within a large corporation, or just trying to make a difference in your community, the principles of lean startup can help you succeed. It's all about embracing experimentation, learning from your mistakes, and iterating your way to success. It's about being resourceful, scrappy, and never giving up on your dreams. So, if you've got an idea that you're passionate about, don't let anything hold you back. Alright, let's talk about the long game, because building a successful startup isn't just about getting lucky or going viral, it's about creating a sustainable business that can stand the test of time. The lean startup methodology is all about systematically reducing risk and increasing your chances of success. It's about building a solid foundation for growth, and it's a journey, not a destination. So, how do you build a sustainable business? It starts with finding a real problem that you're passionate about solving. Look, the lean startup isn't just a book, it's a way of thinking. It's about embracing the unknown, learning like crazy, and never being afraid to iterate. That's it. Thank you for listening, and see you on the next book summary.